2 million years. So we're talking big numbers here. The whole cycle, in the whole cycle, the whole of the solar system in the Milky, in this huge Milky Way, there's a galactic center point in the middle, and our solar system is one of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds in the Milky Way galaxy. We move away from that galactic center point. But just now, when I'm speaking, at this point now, our whole Milky Way galaxy has gone stationary and is about to go back towards galactic center point, where the source of all created life is said to come from on many, many different dimensional levels. And so we are bathed, really, on an unconscious level in it's kind of a consciousness. You could say, if you believe that the mind of God is everywhere all the time and that we are all connected. The problem is, because of our recent history, we've lost this sense of connection with all that is. This is the problem. When I say recent, I mean over the last few hundred years, where left brain activity is kind of become dominant. Astrologers would look at that and say, well, that's solar activity. That's the left brain stuff. The right brain stuff is lunar activity, and that is intuitive, that is non-ego, that's empathic. So as it turns back, the whole lot turns back towards the galactic center. Our solar system goes back towards the galactic center. So we get bathed more and more and more in that source energy. And so, in fact, they have actually said in some of these scientific papers that I've been reading, that sunspot activity, magnetic activity, and the sun is just about to go into a new cycle of sunspot activity, and it's supposed to be peaking, and it's supposed to be very, very, they're expecting it to be a cycle which is much more active than it has been for many, many years. It's supposed to be peaking in 2011, 2012. That has a direct effect on the pineal gland, the endocrine system in our bodies. And so, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, I mean, they are discovering all kinds of things. We're quite close because we tend to be, as a species, a little bit arrogant, I have to say, about what we think we know. But you can't know it with logic. You have to bring the two sides of your brain, if you like, together. There's been some interesting work done on biofeedback, brain waves, when somebody's very out of sync, that each side of their brain is working at different sort of wave patterns, and when somebody is in meditation or is in sync with themselves, both sides of the brain are producing patterns which are the same. And the biodiversity cycle, which is this huge cycle of something like 62 million years, shows that at certain times, because the whole galaxy is moving as well as just our solar system in the galaxy, we don't move on an even plane. Our solar system kind of bobs up and down. So when we're within the galaxy, we're kind of behind the wings of the stream of cosmic rays and superheated gas that streams out from our whole galaxy as it goes towards a super-duper galactic sun center. But when we bob out of that, and we are doing that at the moment, we have less protection, we become more exposed to these cosmic rays, and these guys, I mean, there's somebody called Bruce Lieberman, somebody called Nelot, I can't remember his first name now, paleontologists, they say that this radiation would lead to higher rates of genetic mutations in organisms. And I mean, this is taken from fossil records, this is, it doesn't come from astronomy, this comes from, looking into the Earth to see her history, to see what secrets she can render to us. And at these times, mutations can occur, and our ability to repair our DNA is weakened, so other things can get in there. And the process could lead to new species or hybridization of the root species, I guess. and other species could die. Cosmic rays are also associated with increased cloud cover, so it could actually mean, they're all talking about global warming, but actually it could start cooling the planet by blocking out more of the sun's rays. And I must say, from the weather here over the last 3 weeks, where it's been raining constantly, I would tend to believe that. Oh my God, it's been horrendous. And so, now what they're thinking, certain physicists and paleontologists and scientists working in that area, is that in the past, it's an explanation for the biodiversity cycle on this planet over millions and millions of years. And they say that maybe it's not just the climate and the tectonic events on the Earth that change things, but maybe it's the extraterrestrial environment as well. So there's hard science that backs up things, But you see, astrology is just this kind of entertaining thing, you read the magazine, you read the newspaper, and when I do those, it's to uplift, it's to bring a smile to the face, because if we're all feeling good about ourselves, that's going to raise the vibration across the earth. So that's where I'm coming from on that one. But when I do one-to-one work, which is a little bit more in-depth, that's to help somebody get a handle from a complete stranger, because I don't know them, and they know I don't know them. And I can sit there and talk about their lives. And any good astrologer can, because an astrologer reads a celestial code. It's a bit like music notation. And you've got to read the music, and then you've got to interpret the music. So everybody has a tune, everybody has a song, everybody has a vibration. And when I do that, it's like I get the eagle eye view, and an astrologer can do that by these little glyphs in the chart, which people are probably puzzling over if you've sent them yours. They make sense to me. They make sound to me. They give me a flavor. They give me a feeling inside of my body. And because I've always been able to see things outside of normal reality, I was just born with it, I piece it together with my left and right brain. So I kind of do it in stereo. And that means that somebody can be quite blown away, in a very short time, that I or any other astrologer who's looking at their chart, who knows their stuff, can reveal things to them that are very private. Not.
Let me ask you this then, Diana. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
From an astrological point of view, what can our chart show us? How can it help us? And how can we take advantage of the knowledge that is contained in that reading?
Yeah, well, like I just said, what I do, because I'm also a trained counselor, so I try to flag up potential. Because many people live in a very tiny area of their horoscope, really. You can find them sort of beavering away. And that's to do with conditioning, that's to do with expectations of maybe parents or the time they live in or the schooling they've had, where, I'm only allowed this much scope in my life. Well, I'll just get on with it. But, I can come along and say, well, hey, what about looking over there? It looks really, really interesting. And it looks like that would be, for you, something which would empower you